All right, guys, what's up? Round 4 of the league with our Miracles deck. Most definitely keeping this. If I had to guess, I'm guessing we're in the Miracles mirror, which seems problematic for us. I kind of don't know how we get out of this if that is the case. All right, we're going to go ahead and snap this off for an island. And we'll force pitching counterbalance if we have to. It feels like whoever lands counterbalance first is obviously at a huge advantage here, but I mean, he main decks Red Elemental Blast. If this is in fact who I think it is we're playing against, so we'll see how this goes. Old Border Tundra, very nice. Jace, and then I'm gonna go ahead, offer a force up, see if he forces back. Yeah. And then, of course, we're going to brainstorm right now to just try and find another land. I'm actually going to prioritize casting Jace here. So this puts us in a really great position. I mean, there are a multitude of ways that he can definitely get out of this. So we definitely want to hit the marsh flats. I'm actually just not really willing to run adjacent to what's likely a counterspell. I would feel a little bit better about it if I had a 2 on the top of my deck. There's a force. So we want to actually keep the force on top in case he tries to force back. So let's see. I could go find the force. I could brainstorm. I think what we're going to do is this. I'm going to crack this for a Tundra. See what we can find here. And we're going to try and draw this. And then if he has force, he has force. I think it's pretty safe to assume he doesn't have force. But I'm still not going to slam a Jace quite yet. So it's likely that he has some kind of, I think, creature in his deck. I don't know. It's trying to put together what's in his hand. And so we want to draw the Caracas. See if he has an answer to that. Actually, think we brainstorm. I just think the card advantage here is probably a little bit too good. So he's probably going to Vincer bounce. So I definitely don't have a 4 on top. I think I just use my swords up here. So I have to have another Jace on top of my deck for this to matter, or a Vincer, which I'm pretty sure is not there. So if I swords... This all just feels really bad no matter what I do. So I think the Vincer hitting doesn't matter as much to me. So I'll go ahead and brainstorm first. Let him bounce this. That's fine. I still need the counterbalance top activation. Also fine. I'll do this now. So I think I do have a counter spell. So I think I put, he's likely to cast Click or Jace next. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put Trinket Mage, and then, wait, we'll do Snap, Trinket Mage on top. So things that are bad here are like Red Elemental Blast. I feel like Click or Mentor are his best out, so that's why I led with the Trinket Mage on top. Yeah. So we'll put Snap, Trinket, Brainstorm. Okay. And I'm actually going to start plussing Jace. I feel like he has to answer this somehow reasonably. It's going to be very, very tough for him. So he likely has a counterspell for this, counterbalance. So Snapcaster Mage. What's he gonna Snapcaster to? Brainstorm? Yeah. And what we really would like to do is just straight up brainstorm lock him, right? If he ends up with a force, he ends up with a force. I feel like that's kind of just one of the things that we have to deal with here. And the snap is kind of irrelevant. I mean, it slows us down. We're definitely not going to activate top with 1 up. Keep floating. So we want... So I think we actually want to draw the Snapcaster Mage here. And we know he's drawing a Terminus. We don't really care. Actually, let's do this all on his turn. I'm more than content to fight the Jace fight on his turn. This is going to be a grindathon, and I'm not really feeling too good about where my clock is at. Okay, so he's got Cavernous Souls. That's his mirror tech. So obviously we're going to plow here. Maybe I should have tapped Fortress on there, but I feel like leaving Brainstorm up is better. No, we're not going to use Counterbalance. I assume he's going to get his Snapcaster. Okay. I'll still block. I'll still trade. I don't really mind too much. Now, if this continues to be a problem, we're going to have to start. We're going to continue to plus Jace. I just think it's too good to not. It puts a lot of pressure on him to provide pressure against us. You can keep that Terminus, bud. All right. So that was a horrible misplay. I completely forgot he had a Caracas. I'm so used to the old Legacy rules where that kind of thing just didn't happen. Silly me. I feel like, oh, if I have a Caracas, he can't have a Caracas, but kind of inexcusable. That's okay, though. So Force is interesting. Trinket Mage doesn't do much for us here. Besides, I mean, it essentially provides a blocker for him. I haven't seen red man out of him, which is kind of strange. If he's running a typical list, you would think that would be a thing. Yes, let's put that on the bottom of the library. Cavern is like a massively huge problem for us. So I assume this is him putting this back in my hand. I mean, I feel like, you know, back to basics is something that I can have in this, but still. It's not great. All right, so we are going to I got to find some way to actually provide more pressure, which is kind of coming hard. It's a little hard to come by at the moment. Here comes Venser again. is this for 5 mana? He's very, very frightened of my Trinket Mage, and I don't know why. I mean, obviously, it's just kind of a big... He doesn't know what it could be. Let's go ahead and brainstorm a little bit. So let's see. If I do this, I can return him. Yeah, I think I just let him hit Jace if that's the case. He doesn't have a way to bounce it otherwise. And I kind of need to wait for him to actually, tap in such a way where I can do something about it. But so there's our friend the Trinket Mage again. Top and Trinket Mage, I suppose. Boy, this is just kind of ridiculous. I have a huge card advantage, but Cavern is just making up this huge difference in this game. And my opponent's obviously a lot more experienced with me than me with this deck, and so he's able to play quite a bit faster, which has kind of proven to be a big difference. Okay, sure, you have a Snapcaster Mage. I will not use the ability. Alright, this, on the other hand, we will look at getting into here. And then go ahead and plow this snap. Why is he returning Venser now? Yeah, okay. Maybe he's trying to... I don't know what he's trying to set up exactly here. Maybe he's just trying to Venser bounce Jace at this point. He certainly can. I don't know why he hasn't to this point. Regardless, it's tough to envision a scenario where I don't just time out. Like, I can tighten up and play a little faster, but it's just a grindy matchup. Really, the counterbalance. Okay. I'm assuming he plays with multiple Vincers in his list. Actually, let's think better of that. Let's go ahead and lead with the Trinket Mage. Okay. For some reason, I thought there was a Swords of Plowshares in my hand that I could actually swords them in response, but nevertheless, not so much. You can definitely have that. Do I keep this here in case I can force something? I think I have to. Actually. So if I... What can I can just get engineered explosives on top, so I actually don't feel very comfortable with that. Terminus is not what the doctor ordered either. I really need a Vincer of my own. There we go. So then I will Vincer back. How do you feel about this? Okay. And no. All right, so let's see. We know top is on top. I'm going to go ahead and force this. And then he can force back if he's got it. So we know top is there, which effectively hurts his ability to brainstorm stuff like that. But, oh god, is he going to let me untap with Jace? That seems strange to me. So now, I'm pretty ideally suited. I think what he has to do... he might just have more mana to deal with this. I'm not going to attack in. I mean, this might just be a getcha here. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what he ends up doing. Spinning the top. So now he's in a situation where he can actually... So he can Vincer bounce my Jace this turn. like on his main phase. There's a lot of wheel spinning going on though, but he's got to do it now. So it's going to target Jace when it enters. Yeah, that's fine. So let's see. He's Caracas bouncing his. That's fine. All right. What we really need is a click here. I'll take a shuffle effect though for sure. Let's see. Another Vincer is kind of cool. We'll go with that. Cancel, actually. So if he goes for Vincer bounce this, I got him, right? But we got to keep plussing, putting on the pressure. I feel like that's the most correct thing to do, even though with Vincer it's like super problematic. And he's been, using... let's see. No, we do not want you to put that on the bottom of the library. He's been using Cavern like crazy this match, and I don't know that we're just going to run out of time. I feel like I've been up this whole game, but, not enough to gain any kind of like serious advantage. And with Topic, I mean, Plus actually does a whole lot of nothing unless I can just actually maneuver it in such a way where I can get Jace to ultimate. But, the Vincer situation has been a little difficult to get past. And he's still yet to play it twice in a turn for me to be able to use the Vincer on top, right? So that's also been pretty rough. And this mirror is grindy, but it's not like super unfun. I just feel like I've been so outclassed by this Cavernous Souls attack. Actually, we want to do it like this. Whoops. Sweet misplay. Sure, spin your top. What is in his hand, I wonder? It's got to be a counterbalance force. That's my guess, anyway. Red Elemental Blast, if he stumbles upon one of those, is also just massive here. Though counterbalance is kind of a getcha with that card as well. I mean, the chance of me having a 1 on top are so strong. Shouldn't have let myself draw the Venser. So that was cool. Alright, so I'm going to activate this one more time. Riptide Lab. We'll attack in. So right now I can cast Venser twice pretty easily and have counterbalance back up. I also feel like I've missed, the tail of the tape will tell, but I feel like I've missed at least one attack step here. What is happening here? He's going to plow. Yeah. Try and force some action here, right? I think this game is all going to just fall on the shoulders of the fact that I didn't keep that Venser on top, which is pretty rough. Kind of not over it. So he's going to snap. Okay, and then I'm going to hit no on this. So he's going to plow and... yeah, that's fine. Now again, we hope he's like overly patient and actually just... I mean, we assume he's going to attack, right? So he has to. I'll block. This is all really about protecting Jace. Though if he just decides to main phase this Venser, we're kind of toast. That are Vencers. I mean, we don't know how many he has in the... yeah, here we go. Okay, and then no. I mean, he could also hit the counterbalance. I mean, that's a little bit riskier, but yeah. I don't think... yeah. Fencer bounce, huh? What's he gonna reveal here? Okay, so top. Oh wow, did I just auto yield? Sweet. Good at this game. See if he's floating a 4 here. So things I can draw to get out of this are pretty much slim to none. I feel like I have to have something pretty sweet to even have a shot. And you know, maybe the plussing on Jace was a little too ambitious. Hmm. Gonna just go ahead and concede here. I don't. Let's get out of this and we'll just play one quick game, see if we can do it in time. I highly doubt it. But I gotta try. So we're gonna play that. Get some back to basics going. And what are we cutting here? Cutting 1 terminus, 1 engineered explosives, 1 sword splashers. Yeah, let's do it like that. Thinking this is way too little too late, but gotta give it a shot. Crazier things have happened. In this league for me, crazier things have even happened. I feel like I definitely got outplayed there, but you know, the cavern tech is interesting because it's such a crushing thing in the mirror. But it's cards like that that I don't want to play in my version because I find it to be awful against a ton of these decks that are popular in the meta right now. And I honestly have to come up with something that is good for the mirror. I don't think back to basics will quite cut it. I need something that's a little bit stronger, and I don't know what that is. But you know, maybe it's some kind of hex-proof creature or something like that. But a slower, more reliable threat. Because as you saw, I mean, that just kind of ground on and on and on. And I feel like I definitely would have lost. I probably should have scooped a little bit sooner, maybe after he resolves the counterbalance. But still just super low on time. And you're also, in the context of Magic Online, you're at a disadvantage when you're the first one that resolves countertop. You know, I'm an inexperienced player. I'm trying to give commentary, and I'm also trying to do this counterbalance stuff. And, oh, man, it just cuts into your time so much. My opponent's probably just stunned that I'm actually playing this game at all. We're working on it. All right, so we're going to move as fast as we possibly can here. And I gotta start using the good old 5 key probably a little bit more than I would like. All right, so let's go ahead and start with this on his draw step. I assume this will get countered if he has the opportunity. He probably doesn't want me to see his hand, but maybe it doesn't matter. So I'm getting wear-teared. What is in his hand? So a lot of creatures. And I think I will take the Fencer or the Jace. I think I'll take the Venser. Because that actually affects my ability to do a lot of this stuff. If he's got anything, he's definitely going to cast it here. Nope, whoop, whoop. God just auto-yielded there. That would have been bad. It's getting red elemental blasted. So then I'm going to look at it at the top of his. This is probably bad, but we definitely want to... I guess I could have just set up entreat 2 from the top. That's probably better. Entreat's our way out, right? All right, so we're definitely putting this back. Playing a plains, playing a counterbalance, making him fight over it if he's got it. And he can click in response, that is fine. I don't think he'll take the ponder. Oh, he's looking at his own hand. Well, that's even better for us. Now I'm just going to act like I'm protecting the Jace here. I think he'll want to trade. And we're just going to raw dog it here. So he's got... He put the other click to the bottom. We know that. So this could be Jace. Yeah, he'll Jace bounce one of them, we assume. He's drawn 3. So maybe he's going to try and set up a terminus. At least that's what we assume. Maybe he'll red blast this Jace. So we're putting back Academy Ruins, Tundra, playing back to basics. Yeah, so we are just trying to set this up. Yep, we're good. I guess maybe I should have played Caracas there. I think I might have missed a land drop. Oh, back to basics seems okay right here. All right, hey, we got a game at least. That's got to count for something. At least we got there on that one. I feel like back to basics. I mean, obviously the pace of play was accelerated because of my clock, and that dictated some of my decisions. But Entreat was something that we had to force, and he just didn't happen to have. So I don't feel like that's an indication of how the matchup should go. But boy, we are running low on time. So can we do this? Yeah, I gotta play top. So I assume opponent's going to play a thing here. Gonna go get a Tundra. No, I'm not. Return his counterbalance. think getting a Tundra, I still couldn't have been treated. I would have had to brainstorm into it. We're hustling, guys. Every second counts. Didn't have any white mana. All right. Well, hey, didn't come out the way we wanted, but still pretty sweet.